Today, we are going to be looking at how to analyze the gold shiny metal, the precious metal, from the higher time frame perspective. Okay, so this is the daily. Let's jump over to the monthly. Let's start from the monthly and then work our way down. The first thing you can obviously see if you're going to follow the pattern, because everything has to do with price pattern at the end of the day. Looking at what we have over here, this was like a major wave down. And then here is start of a wave to the upside. So we had one wave down in this manner, and then we had another wave that is still happening now to the upside. Now you can look at the market anyhow you want, but I'm just showing you this so that you understand when there's a downtrend, it will tend to reverse at one point in time to an uptrend. And when there's an uptrend, it will tend to reverse at one point in time to a downtrend, right? So the market tends to move in different cycles at different times. Okay, so don't forget, we're looking at this move. This is the move we're interested in for now on the monthly time frame. And on this monthly time frame, the first area that I am heavily interested in are these highs over here. You can see these highs here, and these highs over here, they make up what we call an area of resistance. So I'm going to put a horizontal line here. Here's the horizontal line tool. I'm going to put it here at the tip, right? I do the tip and not the close of the body. So at the tip here, because there's information inside the wicks, the threads. So this is at the tip now, and you can see something happened as well. Something unique happened. You notice that this candle, first of all, it breached out of this resistance of 2075, as you can see here. It breached out, but immediately it rushed back down and closed. This was about maybe like 3-4 months ago, probably December. Because this massive candle that we have now, this is the candle for March. The ending of March is what we have here. So obviously, you know that this candle is going to close way above this area of resistance. So now this area should now act as support. The other side was resistance. So this should now act as support. But before we say, okay, let's wait for the market to pull back to this area in order for us to buy and then take it up, because you remember we just said this is the new wave we're looking at, this wave over here, right, showing the uptrend. So in order to say we want the price to come back to this area here for us to buy, this is the monthly time frame, so it's going to take a long time before that occurs. Why don't we drop to the next lower time frame to see what's happening? Don't forget, we are discussing how to analyze the gold from the higher time frame perspective. Now, also, if you are new to the channel, quickly hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification. So when we do an update on this video, right, you'll get it immediately. So let's drop to the next time frame, the weekly. Beautiful. You can see the weekly now is giving us a clearer what? A clearer view of that uptrend, of that new wave that we just talked about. So you can see when you start to drop down with time frames, things start to get a bit clearer and clearer and clearer. And also, you see that this wick over here, it did not close above. So this was resistance, resistance, resistance. This was still a resistance. Some could easily call this like stop hunting, because if you're trying to sell over here, your stop loss would have been above and then you'd have gotten knocked out, right? And then look at what happened. It now properly broke out over here. Now let's do something again. This is still an area of interest here. We are looking forward to the price to come back to 2075 and then you buy. But let's drop down to the next time frame. I want to show you what the buyers are thinking and also what the sellers are thinking. You already have a good idea what the buyers are thinking because the trend is up. Now, what about the sellers? Now, this is the daily time frame. Beautiful. You can see now we have more information, clearer with candle closes. Now, this area here, that was a week, right? Earlier, based on the weekly and the monthly, here is now a significant area here. So we can put another horizontal line to represent resistance. We're putting it now simply because over here, it broke out to the upside And you can see it made a quick run back to that area, which naturally will now act as support, and then it pushed higher. So this is now a valid area here, as you can see. But then let us look further. Before I even decide to drop down to the next time frame, 4 hours, mind you, we're not going to drop down to like 1 minute. No, we want to focus majorly on the higher time frames so that you can, on your own, you can decide to look for your entry, your discounted entry on the lower time frame. But be careful, the lower the time frames you go, you will now need to pay more attention to the news from like the forest factory, because news on like the dollar could easily affect gold, right? So you need to pay more attention to that. And also you more or less have a lot of opportunities before that real one decides to run. Don't forget, you're looking at buying at these areas here. Now 21.42 on a pullback here, or that 20.75 that we looked at from the monthly, weekly, and now the daily. So these two areas are key for the buyer. Now, what about the sellers? What are the sellers thinking? This is an uptrend, quite all right. So the sellers are thinking of going against the market, which is counter trend trading. Now, if you look at the pattern that we have over here, right? If you look at this inside here, there's a pattern inside here. And that pattern is what? It's a wedge. Now look at the wedge over here. You have like a 1, 2, 3 tap in this manner. And then you have another one like this. Oops, what did I do? I drew the wrong thing, sorry. This. So you have another one in this manner, right? So if you look very well, you have here and here. For you to draw a diagonal line, a trend line, you need 2 points. But for you to draw a horizontal line, you just need 1 point. Take note of that. So now we've drawn a diagonal line representing that wedge. You can see our wedge, and this wedge is known as the rising wedge. It's also known as a triangle. Now, in this scenario, you'll most likely be thinking there might probably be divergence as well, divergence in favor of the sellers, which is absolutely correct. You can check your RSI, or you can check your MACD, and you probably find divergence there. So with this 1, 2, 3 tap, this is now the area of interest for the sellers. Now, the sellers don't have to aggressively jump in. You can wait for more clues. You can wait for price action candles to jump in, or it could even be on lower time frames. You could have the start of a lower downtrend. You could have the start of a downtrend on a lower time frame. That could give you heads up that it is probably time to start looking for sell opportunities. So you don't have to be aggressive, but the market could still push higher. If it pushes higher, then it's just an extension of this wedge, right? It's just an extension of this higher trend line inside this rising wedge. So this is the area. Let me clean this up a bit. This is the area to pay attention to, this area. And this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to gradually stop this video here so that we can make room for an update on how the gold instrument, how it played out from the higher time frame. We'll do an update of this particular video. Now, if you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comment section. Don't forget, if you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button and then get notifications on when we do updates on these videos. More videos to come as well. If you have any instruments of choice, whether it's the Bitcoin or it's the fiber or the cable or whatever the case may be, also comment and we'll put that into our schedule and do something comprehensive for you. Let us also know if you want it from the lower time frames or the higher time frames. I'll prefer the higher time frames because the lower time frames are a bit too fast, especially for scalping. So this is what I have for you on the gold daily time frame, and we're going to continue, right? And then hopefully this will help you out. Thank you guys. Do enjoy the rest of the day, and goodbye for now.